मुख्तलिफ इंटरनेशनल डेलीगेट्स से बात करके Y20 प्री समिट के हवाले से आप तक अहम रिपोर्ट पहुंचा रहे हैं और इस वक्त आप देख सकते हैं और भी बहुत सारे जो यंग लीडर्स हैं अक्रॉस दी दुनिया के मुख्तलिफ कंट्री से वो Y20 लेह लद्दाख में शिरकत कर रहे हैं Y20 की प्री समिट में। मैम, व्हाट्स योर नेम एंड विच कंट्री यू आर रिप्रेजेंटिंग?
I'm from Indonesia, but I'm representing ASEAN. My name is Amira Bilkis.
Okay, what do you want to say about the Y20 pre-summit and what is your take on India's presidency over G20?
I definitely believe that the Indian presidency could voice out what is the developing countries have the interest, and especially because last year Indonesia hosting as well G20, so we're definitely looking forward for the legacy to continue on. One of the things is that Y20 this year is also inviting ASEAN delegates, which is we are not part of the G20, but we are here to also bringing out new fresh insights as well to the discussion.
This year's Y20 theme is One Earth, One Future. And there are many themes. From tomorrow, there will be deliberation discussions in the technical session. So what do you want to say about the technical session?
So for me, because I'm actually belong to the climate change and sustainability track, so one thing definitely that we need to pay and prioritizations about is energy transitions, and definitely India could actually lead the way and definitely have a lot to say as well, because Indonesia and also ASEAN, Indonesia even have the potentials to move the energy transitions towards a more sustainable energy.
Thank you very much. Thank you. What's your name, bro, and which country you are representing?
Hi, my name is Jonas, and I'm from the EU delegation together with Caleb. Well, I'm a member of the Youth and Democracy, so shared future and governance track. And for me, the track is basically all about, first of all, youth engagement. Well, the hospitality is quite great here. I can definitely confirm that. I think what is quite interesting also to host the summit here, and I'm also going to be interested to also see what the Indian delegates have to say. It's quite interesting to see how we are welcome here, how big this is also a thing. And I think what is really interesting to see how big the youth summit is here, because normally you have that for G20 summits, you have that for governmental meetings, but not primarily for youth engagement sessions. So let's see what comes out of the negotiations, because that's obviously why we're here and what is most important for us as well. But I hope they will be as successful as the preparations, and hope also thank of course the host country for their hospitality.
Thank you very much. What's your name, sir, and which country you are representing, and what's your theme in this Y20 pre-summit in Leh?
Yes, so my name is Ritvij and I'm representing the UK. My track is the Shared Future Democracy and Governance track. So I think that my colleague actually mentioned it quite well, that if you look at a map, it's not the first place you think of, but from our experience so far the last 3 days, we've had phenomenal hospitality from all the people here. Everyone's been saying how friendly everyone's been, the staff, the hotels, the places we've been, we've had a great reception. Today we went to lots of monasteries and really experienced the culture in Leh. So I think from the perspective of the youth delegates, we've experienced a lot of culture and we're going to take away a lot of memories.
What's your message to the youths across the world?
Oh, that's a good question. So the main message I'm going to be putting forward from the UK's perspective is all going to be about youth participation in whatever government structures they have. So civic education is a big part of this, and we see in lots of countries youth voter turnout is quite low. And there are lots of different things we can be doing to improving that, and civic education is part of it, institutionalising youth organisations and other aspects of it, and also making sure that we have a seat at the table at places like the G20 or even your own home parliaments. So those are going to be key things we're going to be talking about over the next few days.
Thank you very much, brother. Thank you.
My name's Leah, and I'm also representing the United Kingdom. And I'm standing in for our head delegate, Charlie, who was on the climate track. So I'm here to represent his views as well as I can, and the UK's views on the climate negotiations.
Okay. In this era, climate is one of the biggest and burning issues. And if we talk about Himalayan region, one of the main impact of global warming is Himalaya, and glaciers are melting rapidly. What are your expectations from this Y20 pre-summit?
My expectations from the Y20 pre-summit are that all the delegates here are able to come together and really narrow down their priority areas so that they can present those policy areas and ideas to the G20 leaders in August prior to the G20 summit, with the hope that G20 leaders will listen and listen to what young people across the world are saying, so that because young people deeply care about climate change and the impacts across every region, and they have a really strong voice, and so I really hope that they will be listened to. I think the main message about climate change is that it's happening now, it's not happening in the future, and it's not something we can wait 10, 20, 15 years to make a change of, to make any changes. It's something we need to act on now so that we can help preserve the future, not only for ourselves but also our future generations, because ultimately they're going to be around, and we might not be affected today, but in 100 years they're the people that are going to be deeply affected by all of these environmental changes.
So are you excited to take part in the technical session?
Yeah, I'm really excited. It would be really good to get together with all the climate delegates who are all very passionate about climate change and global warming. And everyone ultimately has the same priorities and the same view and sort of similar views and priorities for our planet. So yeah, very excited to go in and start narrowing down what young people are really going to put forward and really care about.
Yeah, first of all, it's a pleasure to be here in Leh. It's my first time in India. I just want to say a big congratulations for India for hosting the G20 and the Y20 this year. I think it's going to be a fantastic opportunity and to be hosted in such a beautiful place in Leh. I think coming out of the pandemic, we have been out of the pandemic for about a year, and we are moving forward as an entire world. We have to think about what is the future of governance, what is the future of democracy. There are a lot of issues and challenges that all different countries face, be it in things in the digital space, be it in things with different sort of shocks that we see in the world today, with the situation in Europe, with the situation on different democracies all around the world. And the youth voice is a very important voice because we are the future of these democracies. And it's very important that we think of ideas and solutions that not only solve the problems of today, but also solve the problems of tomorrow. So I'm very excited to be speaking with the delegates. And while the pre-summit you mentioned is happening tomorrow, we have been speaking non-stop since we arrived in Leh. And I can say that the delegates today are so distinguished, and I'm so excited to be learning from everyone here and to be sharing the Singapore experience, not only with our friends from India, but with our friends from all around the world. So once again, very happy to be here.
After Ladakh becoming union territory, Leh is hosting Y20 pre-summit. And at the beginning, what's your take on Leh? Because today, various delegates have visited the town vicinity and have seen the various cultural and historical places. And what sort of accommodation and hospitality you have seen till now?
Well, I myself, I'm an avid outdoor adventurer. So Leh, Ladakh, this area was one place to be in the time that I spent on this earth to come. So visiting all the different sites, very warmly received by the different monasteries in Leh. And it's very similar to Singapore, where we have so many different cultures as well, and we're all learning to live together in harmony. And so combined with that and the beautiful landscape, it's all in all been a very pleasant experience.
You're from Russia, okay. Y20 का आगाज़ लेह लद्दाख में शुरू हो चुका है और Y20 के प्री सबमिट में 30 कंट्रीज से डेलीगेट्स शिरकत कर रहे हैं और 100 से अबव डेलीगेट शिरकत कर रहे हैं। इस वक्त हमारे साथ रशिया से एक डेलीगेट हैं, उनसे जानना चाहेंगे। First of all, I would like to welcome you to Leh Ladakh. What do you want to say about India's presidency or G20? And what do you want to say about the Y20 pre-summit in Leh Ladakh?
So first of all, I would like to thank you for the warm welcome. I and my delegation, all delegates have received here in Leh Ladakh. So I suppose that the India presidency in G20 it has succeeded so far. So we had first time in history we had press summit for the young summit for Y20, and we have an ability to basically meet delegates from different countries. We have an ability to visit such wonderful places as Ladakh, and I think that's wonderful that we have such an ability. And all in all, I completely I agree with Indian motto for the G20 presidency, and I think that I wish all the best India for this year for G20 presidents, and I'm looking forward to participating in Y20 summit, which will take place in August.
So what do you want to say on the various themes of Y20?
So I personally participate in the track of youth in democracy and governance, and that's where India is supposed as a leader, one of the leaders in the world, since there are many young MPs in India, and there are many young representatives of young generations who participate in Indian governance.
Today, the delegates visited the town vicinity of Leh Ladakh and various historical and cultural places. So what do you have observed?
So all of these places were wonderful. It was truly unique experience, and I'm looking forward to maybe coming to India back again and visiting some other Indian sightseeing.
What is your message to the youths across the world?
So take action, participate in forums, in meetings, and believe in yourself. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Namaste, I'm Sanket Kalambe. And about Y20 Summit, I think this is a very great platform to bring youth from all the G20 nations at a single place, so that we can come together and deliberate on certain thoughts and issues which are important to youths today. So this initiative gives us an opportunity to also interact and network with the like-mindeds, and also understand the issues, be it cultural, be it developmental, and see what works for our country or their respective countries. So yeah. So first of all, I really loved the atmosphere. I mean, definitely there were a lot of thoughts before coming here. Okay, you have to acclimatize and things like that. But for me, they asked me to take a rest for a while, and then it was very great. So I'm enjoying the weather here, and the energy is amazing. About the cultural events and everything, because today was the time when we visited monasteries, so it was really great to see all the dances, sacred dances which occurred, and visiting the museum. It was an amazing experience, and interacting with the locals especially, it was quite supportive, to be honest, because for me, this is my first time in Leh, and interacting with people, it was a great experience for me, because I come from a central Indian region, and visiting north, you have perceptions how thoughts are perceived, because there were a lot of there are certain narratives which we have in our mind, but when we enter into that location, we identify it's really beautiful, and had a great experience.
से विस्तार से आप तक उन्हीं की जुबानी आप तक पहुंचाने की कोशिश की। फिलहाल बने रहे गुलिस्तान से अपडेट्स के लिए। मोहम्मद साक, गुलिस्तान न्यूज़ के लिए।